you doing? Dusty. This is doing better. Look at all that black.
Holy shit!
That's a 75, 85, 90 and above. It's over.
Loving it.
Yeah, it's not bad. No, it isn't going to be that good on this edge because of rabbits, deer, and whatever. But
nice.
I'm quite pleased with it.
Watch out with a block of woods.
I don't have a block of wood. Tree bends. Come on there.
Click.
Pretty decent though. Here, let me wipe your window for it. Oops. I'm pretty sure I can get that cleaned up a little bit. Take the dust off of it anyway.
No case though?
No, you're just filming me cut soybeans. These beans are yielding somewhere between, there's a rabbit, cottontail.
I see. That's the second one.
Oh, there's quite a few of them here. They have pretty good cover. You can look out across the field and see the cover crop, the green tint from the cover crop. That's why we're pushing to get this stuff off of here pretty quickly, because we are running at 17.6% moisture, and we're going to put it in the bin and just dry it. Put it in the bin and dry it. It'll dry in the bin. Within 3 days, we'll be down around 13%. Now, instead of me waiting 3 days for it to dry naturally, I'll just concentrate it in the bin and it'll dry out. It'll dry out quick enough in there. Because at some point this week, I'm going to have to start moving it. I need dinero. I can get a couple of loads out. I'm going to have to figure the, what do you call it? Yeah. I'm going to have to figure out the hopper trailer that I can't seem to get my hands on. That looks pretty good. These beans are pretty good. So
yeah.
if you look, they're pulling, right now in this particular area, it's about 3,000 pounds per acre. 17.6 moisture, which is fine. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so 4 points of moisture out of it. The reason I'm doing that is to keep it from snapping out of the pods. I'd rather get them all in the bin than wait till they're dry and then lose 2-3 bushels to the acre. You can lose 20-30 bushels to the acre real quick, just by waiting.
It looked like Mr. Suave with this camera because you got dirt on your face.
I got Mr. Suave dirt.
Black face, you look like oi, Mr. Suave.
Yeah. Nobody knows who Mr. Suave is. So anyways, you can see here that we're in the green. We got dark green, light green, and yellow. So you pull the legend up. The yellow is between 45 and 55. The green is between 55 and 65, and the dark green, 65 and 75. That's the legend. So, like, right now we're at 3,200 pounds to the acre. You know, down below the field, the first field I did was doing 4,100.
Nice.
That thing was really nice. That was a really nice field. It was 12 acres, and it just yielded. Our loss is at a minimum. That's the yield loss monitor. There's nothing coming out. Probably could go faster, but we're a little gummy yet in the stalks because there's still leaves in there. But nothing going through the rethrashers, which is expected. I really don't want anything going through the rethrashers anyway. The lower sieve is at 0 inches. I've got the lower sieve at 0 inches. The reason I do that is because I don't want pods in the sample. And yeah, so if it goes over the lower sieve and can't go in, it'll go through the rethrasher. But now there's nothing going over the rethrasher. So I'm not going to complain about these beans at all. That field, the second field down over, was really nice. That was in the 75, 85 bushel range. It was off the chart. It was black. It was in, if you look at it, I can't pull it up right now, but it was black. Green and black. It's like,
Nice.
wow. I was so thrilled with that. But this here, I'm thrilled to death with it. You know, you do have the yellow. Right here in this really green spot, that's where I had spent mushroom soil. There was a pile of spent mushroom soil in that area. So, obviously, this field had some really low organic matter. It was it wasn't even 2%. So, everything that has been on this field stays on this field. You don't even see any residue from the wheat from last year. On some of the other farms, you'll see that. So the biology is in this soil, is doing its job. I got good biology here. The cover crop is here, so it's going to keep it going. And I'm not sure whether I'm putting beans in here again next year or whether I'm going to put corn back in here. I'm not sure. It all depends on what the price of corn and soybeans are. That's just a whole ball of wax. I like putting corn in here because it's a big farm and it's close to home. It is home, and you can really do a lot in a day when you're close to home instead of this 35 miles away stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a long time to do it at 35 miles away. And I have done some sampling of the corn, pulled a couple of ears today. We are at 23% moisture on one field. Another field was 27%. Another one was 29%.
Oh.
So you just add 2 points to each one of those for actuality. So 23 is 25, 27 is 29, and 29 is 31. So corn is not near ready, but it's 80 degrees outside right now, right?
Yes.
80 degrees?
77 in my dashboard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So 77. I saw 80 on my truck there earlier, but here's what it is. Well, he's about full here. Down and back twice, and we got a pretty good 3/4 of the way full bin. Yeah. I'm very happy with this yield. I'm not going to complain at all. I'm not going to complain at all. I mean, when I'm done, when I dump here, I'll have that wagon full and some in the truck. Probably one of the hoppers on that truck will be full, and I'll finish filling that wagon. I'll fill that truck up, and I'll probably have beans in the back of this combine on this field. That's 22 acres.
Wow.
There's 3/4. There's 3/4. We're running a 4.3 mile per hour. Nothing coming off the back. Sensitivity could be a little higher on that, but I had to do some work. We had to do some work yesterday to get the combine ready to do this today. Look at that dust. I sped up the straw chopper so that it would chop it finer, and the spreader, I leveled it so that it would spread wider. But the wind is blowing so hard, and the material is so dry now that it's just shredding it to nothing. You'll see this in the rye or the cover crop. You will see the difference of the nutrients in the cover crop when it gets up through it. Because now it's warm enough. If we get a rain shower or something, it's just going to take off. It's going to take off anyway because it's that time of year. We do have water, so it'll be good. Yeah, it'll be good. Right?
Right.
We'll pull up to this one, top it off.
Where the hell is your tractor that's supposed to hold those?
Took a wagon home.
Oh.
They're not going to be able to move fast enough. We're going to have to get two tractors going here. We'll have to get 2 tractors because we're making grain now.
Here we are. when I videotaping it.
Yeah. No, that's not good.
I know. Oof. Okay.
I'm not doing this right.
I know. You're distracted.
Well, I am. I guess I'm full enough in there. I'm not going to bother. I'm full enough. I'm going to have to climb up there and level that out. I don't like spilling beans. There used to be a game when I was a kid. It was called Don't Spill the Beans.
Don't spill the beans, Wesley.
Yeah, it was a game. Don't spill the beans. Get your head out of the way. It's too fat and in my way.
You talking my head is fat?
Your head is as round as a basketball.
You're mean to me.
Tweety bird.
I told again.
It's no T.
I
I
did.
taught a putty.
No, it's a toot again.
Putty.
Tootie.
Putty.
Tootie. Tootie.
Tavarded. I bought these wagons new. About 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago. I've actually had that truck for more than 20 years.
Oh, the L8000.
Yeah. Put 380 bushels of beans in there.
On each wagon.
No. Between the two wagons, 380 bushels.
Oh, I see 275. Is that the number supposed to fit?
No. I don't know why they do that. Now, maybe if you put double sides on it, you could do that, but it would crush the truck. The truck can't handle that. The truck can't handle that. See that stupid sign up there? And I don't care who doesn't agree with me. They can kiss my ass. Where are we at? Yeah. What I hate to see when I'm doing this is red. When I see red, or what is it, there's a brown. That brown is 35 to 45 bushels.
Yeah.
But 25 to 35 bushels, I hate to see that. And the first that we harvested had a lot of red in it.
A lot of that.
Really annoys me. Every once in a while you'll see a blip of red in there. Doing it on the outside rounds.
Yeah.
Because of groundhogs or possibly deer. We made skipper.
Daddy got a skipper.
Red. It's the gas master. Anyway, had enough of that. I should kick you out and have you catch me going, but I don't think you like dust. Good morning, YouTube. I am going to make a quick video here. Just going to talk about soybeans and cover crops and what is happening here on this particular farm where I have soybeans and the cover crop. So about a month ago, we had contracted through the United States Department of Agriculture and RCS, National Resources and Conservation Services, to apply cover crop. Now, in the past, I have done this on my own, less the airplane. And I would like to say that I never expected the negative comments about an airplane flying overhead, repeatedly putting down seeds like I did, and the local Facebook pages have gone absolutely berserk over this thing. So, but anyways, with that being said, I've been farming this ground now for several years. Let's say 5 or 6 years, probably 6 years. This is where my mother was raised, and this is the farm that I am trying to purchase. I do believe we will come to an agreement here, and hopefully pretty soon on the price. We just need to get to the negotiating table and talk about it. Now, I will say this, through my regen ag practices, and not due to the weather, because it has been really dry this year. This particular farm did have some more rain than some of the other farms, but it's pretty good. It's actually quite good. And I'll flip this camera around here and I'll show you that the cover crop is up and running now. And yeah, the cover crop is up and running. Soybeans look really good. Now, this is where I made that satire video about Ukrainian seed and how I'm going to get 400 bushels of the acre on soybeans and all this other fancy funny stuff. But you know, I do things sometimes that kind of annoy people, and I do it to just see how far I can push the envelope, which is fine. Some people can't handle it, and I feel sorry for you, but for the most part, get a life. You know, just get a life. I'm from the 80s, get a life. You know, I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, and yeah, here I am. So, all right, I'm gonna flip the camera around, and you can see that these beans are very good. Especially for New Jersey, and especially for the amount of deer pressure that is on this farm. And there is about 85 acres here. There's 5 acres over there, so that's 90 acres. And then where those red buildings are down there, there's another 30 acres over there. So that puts us at I'm gonna say 115 acres. 115, 120 acres, but let's just say on the safe side, let's say 115 acres, which is about where it is. 110, 115 acres is, you know, whatever. My math is probably off. It should be 120. Yeah, it's 120 acres. It's definitely 120 acres. So anyways, with that being said, this all got cover crop. That over there did not, and that little field over there did not. They just didn't put it on. But the beans look really good. Lime, we put on 2 years ago, I put 2.5 tons of lime to the acre. This year I put 1.5 tons of lime to the acre. If you don't know, soybeans are calcium whores. They need calcium. They need calcium. And they love calcium. And these beans are maybe less than a week away. I can't wait. I'm excited, actually. So with no further ado, let's shut my mouth. Get it down in here, and here is the rye. Here's the clover. Here's the clover. Lots of clover. I like the clover, crimson clover. So what that clover is going to do, is it's going to give me nitrogen. It's going to mineralize a lot of P and K and affix nitrogen into the soil. The rye that's there puts down a root mass up to 18 inches deep, and what that will do is hold the soil and build organic matter in the soil. All the residue at the top, you know, like when I terminate this and plant through it, which I will terminate it and plant through it, it will create what some in the industry call armor. I don't like using the word armor for my soil. I'm armoring the soil. You're not armoring the soil. Ooh, what you're doing, oh shoot, that was my phone. What you're doing is you're covering the soil. You could call it armor. I don't care if that's what you want to do. I just don't like that terminology. I just, you know, you're conserving the soil from wind and water erosion, and you're keeping the soil cool so that the biology can actually break down those roots and convert it into organic matter. The organic matter then is food for the biology, along with the mycorrhizal fungi and all those other funny things that nobody knows anything about. And because I use, in my self-described practices, ultra low minimum till. Ultra low minimum till. Why do I call it that? It's because I use a vertical tillage machine to resize the residue that's on top of the soil. I cut it into 3.5 inch lengths. We do that so that it opens it up and allows the biology to get in there, but it doesn't roll it over. It doesn't disturb it. It actually just lays it flat on top of the soil, and you get that nice mat of soil cover on the soil. Now, this was wheat last year, then soybeans, and it actually worked really, really well. The wheat, because the biology is really good in the soil, you don't see much wheat residue anymore, but I can reach down, I can grab it. So this is what covers the soil. This right here, this stuff. And what this stuff does is it keeps the sun from baking the moisture out of the soil. So it just gives it that level of protection. Underneath it, worms can lay their eggs, because worms seem to lay their eggs close to the surface. The worm eggs don't dry out. The worms can then hatch out and start burrowing holes, worm channels. You know, and if I plow those, then I pull the worms up out of the soil, destroy the eggs, and diminish the population of worms. Now, I'm going to show you what worms do real quick, because I am here. I just stopped. These are what the worms do. See this? This is like an aggregate, right? Worms, this is worm poop, really. It's worm castings. Worm castings. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You can't go anywhere. It's this crumbly worm poop. So underneath, there's worm holes. How important are worm holes? Some farmers don't even know that you need worms. Worms can produce up to 20 units of phosphate. Produce it. They break it down, mineralize the phosphate, and they cast it out, and then it becomes utilized by the plant. So worms are very important for several different reasons. Reason one, it gives them a place to live and hide, breed, and do their thing. Worm holes are where the worms live, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Second thing that wormholes do, they create channels for water infiltration. Water infiltration is super important, right? Super important. Super important. Because if the water doesn't infiltrate into the soil, it runs off, taking along with it the nutrients that these worms and other things, and your very expensive fertilizer that you threw on top of the ground, takes it down the ditch. Goodbye, see you later. Never to be seen again, but complained about by the city folks when there's an algae bloom someplace. You know, which then... Anyway, whatever, we won't even get into that. So, the third thing for... Wait till this airplane goes over. It's been flying over me all day. I'm not complaining. The third thing that worm channels do is they create a place for your roots to go down, right? So when you plant your cash crop after your cover crop is terminated and laid flat and it's dying there, decaying, and you've planted your cash crop, whether it be corn, soybeans, or whatever else you can plant, lentils, whatever you want to plant, the cash crop finds those wormholes. It goes down because it's an easy path. It's got P and K there, mostly phosphate, down those worm castings, worm tunnels. All the slime that comes off of worm loaded with phosphate. So they go down there. That forces the worm to make new holes, which then creates more infiltration holes and more places for those roots to follow down to water. We have had limited rainfall on this farm. Conservatively, I'm looking at 65 bushels of beans to the acre on this place. Conservatively. You'll see it when I combine it in next week, hopefully, if we don't have a hurricane. But you'll see it when we combine it next week. It is, in my expectations, it's going to be somewhere in the 80s. That's what I'm expecting. My wife says it's going to be 100, but I don't think so. I've been doing this longer than her. But with that being said, Jesus, these airplanes. I should go get my microphone. But anyway, so now you've got root channels for the cash crop. You've got phosphate for the roots to eat and take up into the, along with the other P and K, or the other K, potash, along with that. And it's an easy way to get to the water that it needs in the event of dry weather. You've got the armor, you've got the cover on the soil to keep the evaporation from coming from the hot ball of fire in the sky, the one that's in the solar The largest solar flare to happen in the last 11 years just happened yesterday. If you notice your phones haven't been working quite right, that's why. And the GPSs are a little off, that's why. So solar flares are a thing, and that affects the weather. So don't let the climate activists tell you that humans are destroying our climate with burning electricity or burning gasoline and diesel fuel, because it's more polluting to mine cadmium, lithium, and all these other things to create batteries, copper, oil for the plastics. But whatever, we won't even get into that. So yeah, so that is part of the Regen Ag process. It is working here. These soybeans are, I can't imagine anybody would think that they weren't going to produce very well. The combine, yesterday I was in some really crappy looking soybeans, and honest to God, they were between 45 and 55 bushels in areas of the field. Some of them were in the 35 to 45. So let's just say they averaged 42 bushels to the acre, and they were nothing compared to what these are. These are 2.5 times better. I mean, it's crazy what these look like compared to that. So if those yields were where they were, the yields on this will be stellar. Yeah, so I guess that's it. The Regen Ag is working, and I'm gonna go get my combine ready to rock and roll, because to be quite honest with you, I only have a limited amount of time today, because we're supposed to get rain tonight, and I don't like when I get rained out. I got hay to bale today, and I got beans to cut today, and I just got a lot of things to do. Just a lot of things to do. And yeah, so I just can't. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about these soybeans, because I think these soybeans, this 120 acres of soybeans is going to, well, let's see, that's 120 at 70 bushels to the acre. Let's just say they're going to do 70 bushels. So, you got 8,000 acres, 8,000 bushels. Take 8,000 bushels, and yeah, there you go. That's what it is. That's where it's going to be. That's what we got to do. Lots to do, little time to do it in, and then we got to get on to corn, and that was my phone falling again. So I will shut up now and get on to working on the combine. See you there.